What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, Marvel Studios has already confirmed that by the end of Phase 6, we're going to culminate in Avengers Secret Wars, something that threatens to shape the entire new landscape of the MCU going forward. Something being rumored now and heavily picking up steam is the idea that in that restructuring, that new landscape of the MCU, Phase 7 and beyond, that it'll look nothing like the original MCU because it won't be the original MCU, that in fact Marvel Studios with Avengers Secret Wars plan on rebooting the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We're going to talk about where this rumor started, what it said, and why it makes any sense, not only in the context of the storyline and the story that they're going with for the end of Phase 6 in Avengers Secret Wars, but because of where Marvel Studios will be now approaching the 20-year mark in 2028 with their production, how we can ever get the Avengers next to the X-Men, how we can ever get Captain America and Iron Man back. We're talking about the very real, very complicated possibility that Marvel's going to reboot the MCU and break down exactly what that would mean going forward in Phase 7. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report or rumor like we're covering today, and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway, which we are right around the corner from the next one, and we'll hit any week now. Again, if you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, be a sub, leave a comment down below. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Now, for the record, my channels like mine in the last couple of years, we brought up the idea that the MCU can't possibly run forever, that someday in the far, far distant future, the MCU might need to reboot, but when we've done so safely, thinking that day is too far off to have to worry about, and certainly not anytime soon. Fast forward to San Diego Comic-Con's confirmation that the multiverse saga will end in Avengers Secret Wars, prompting an almost immediate anonymous 4chan or Reddit scoopster to say this is exactly what they intended to do, leading to industry insider editorials and even some that aren't. Everything from We've Got This Covered to Polygon writing articles immediately like Avengers Secret Wars could give the MCU the ultimate superpower, a reboot, where all of the articles go on to basically read the same and explain that in Avengers Secret Wars, the 2015 Jonathan Hickman reboot version of the story, where God Emperor Doom has taken the Beyonder's powers, Reed Richards eventually defeats him by figuring out Molecule Man is the reason that Dr. Doom can wield that immense power in the first place, and after convincing him to side with Reed Richards, also has him rebuild the multiverse. If not by the time Secret Wars starts, and definitely by the time it ends, and maybe already, the multiverse in the MCU is going to be in complete disarray. If it needs to be rebuilt and set straight in the first place, this offers them a comic book narrative opportunity, something that already happened in the comics, to rebuild and soft reboot the MCU. Then you add on the news we got in the last month that Marvel Studios may have to hold off introducing the X-Men, or majority of them, because of contractual obligations to the original Fox Studios actors who played those roles right there at the very end in Dark Phoenix, meaning we may not have a lot of the X-Men we would have wanted taking part in Secret Wars. The only way we're ever going to see legacy characters that have now left, namely Iron Man, also Steve Rogers, Captain America, and others that may not be around after the conclusion of the multiverse saga, is to have a soft reboot where you could actually recast these characters as new versions. Again, Marvel Studios is approaching 20 years in 2028, and some of these characters have been played by the same actor for nearly the same amount of time, going on 2 decades. If they have an opportunity to reboot the MCU, and if we're not going to be able to get the X-Men alongside some of these awesome Marvel characters, then the X-Men may suffer in the same way they did at Fox if all the characters that we never got to see crossover, like Wolverine vs. Hulk, don't actually get their opportunity. Then the only way to do this is with a soft reboot. Look, Marvel Comics would do this all the time and when it would suit their narrative, and ultimately I can confirm from some of my sources at Disney that at least some creatives in some rooms there have talked about this, using the Ultimates as a blueprint. In the comics, they would constantly have to reset things so that they could tell new stories with the same characters, because ultimately Marvel as a business wants to continue to sell Iron Man toys. Yeah, it's great that we don't have RDJ coming back and already to ruin his sacrifice in the cinematic universe, but also they want to sell Iron Man toys and know they can't do that unless they have Iron Man back in movies. So when you add the idea that the X-Men may be stranded in the same way that they were at Fox, alienated from characters we want to see them cross over with because those characters have already left the MCU, and the possibility that this narrative is one of few that actually gives them the opportunity to rewrite the multiverse, there is a good chance while we'll see holdovers like the brand new Fantastic Four that'll only be just over a year old in the MCU into the new universe and other characters as well, we may see recastings for characters that have been gone for some time, and this is how you get a new Iron Man. Certainly there are going to be plenty of more rumors and reports about this over the coming years, and I think ultimately there's still a ton that needs to be settled, even if it'll be Doom, if not Kang, by the time we get to Secret Wars. But ultimately, when you invoke Secret Wars, the 1980s version, the reboot in 2015, from Jonathan Hickman, which this story will draw heavily from, you invoke Battleworld. And when you're talking Battleworld, you're talking about a bunch of different multiverse planes that have all been singed together. This is going to be a crazy endeavor for them to try to pull off, and I think it's not a surprise or even a question why they haven't announced a director for Secret Wars, because of how important this film is going to be and how tricky it's going to be as well. I mentioned it in just a recent video. You can expect that Fantastic Four, Avengers Kang Dynasty, and then ultimately Secret Wars, while they may have different directors, we know Matt Shakman is almost certainly confirmed at this point for Fantastic Four, considering it's public that he just bowed out of Star Trek. The only reason you do that is to do the Fantastic Four movie. You have Destin Daniel Cretton directing Kang Dynasty. All of these movies will have to be written, if not shot in part, in concert to make sure there's no huge continuity gaps, and all coming out in such close proximity to each other with the importance of ending the multiverse saga. I can't even imagine what some of those writer room sessions are going to look like, or for the creatives, and I have a sneaking suspicion they've already started working on the concept art for this in some of those previous rooms. But guys, let me know all your thoughts down below, how you feel about them rebooting the MCU and in this way. If you haven't read that Jonathan Hickman run, I highly recommend. Definitely a great read, especially considering we know that's where the MCU is going. Let me know how you feel in the comments quickly. Let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We are still giving away a PlayStation 5 every 20,000 subscribers all the way up to 1 million. We're right around the corner because the next one's 980 and we are almost there. We should hit that at the end of any week now, probably by the end of September confirmed. So if you want to be entered to win for the next giveaway, all the same rules will always apply. All you have to do, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on, and as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes under the name All Fires with original music. Speaking of which, I've been in a competition for about 5 weeks. There are about 3 days left in the quarterfinals and about 2 weeks left in a competition where I'm trying to win a show in Hollywood to launch my band All Fires Live. If you've already voted, I can't thank you enough. If you haven't, it's free to vote every 24 hours with a Facebook account, or you can donate to the Suicide Prevention Foundation. There's a link down in the description or the comments below. Again, it's free with a Facebook account, and if you have a moment and do a couple clicks, if you want to support me as a musician, I would sincerely appreciate your help winning this thing. I've been in second place for a couple of days. We're trying to climb into first. We're trying to get that dub and get to the semifinals, and if you could help, I really appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next video. I will also see you for the live watch party for She-Hulk as we bring it back in a couple of days. Okay, stay safe. Love you guys. See you in the next one.